The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on this show are not to be presented as facts or an indicting nature to any party viewing or mention. We hope you're entertained. Thanks for watching.
Shoot. I always forget to unmute myself like every time.
Yeah, me too. I just did it right now.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey, y'all miss me?
Y'all, we did miss you. You wasn't here last week. Welcome back to What's the Word? Welcome to the stream. Episode 23? I
Ooh,
think
my
it's
lucky
episode
number.
23. Episode 23, Jordan number, whatever. It's gonna be a good
Mhm.
episode. J Maria, we missed you.
Thank you. I missed y'all too, but I was having too much fun, so
You sound like it.
it
You
was
gotta
well
pick it
needed.
up.
I'm a little tired, okay? I'm a little too old to be doing some of these things I've been doing this weekend, this past
Girl,
week.
you been outside. I had to hit you like, oh, you really outside. Are you coming back? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. I made sure to come back, bless y'all with my presence. How was your week though?
Girl, my week was alright. It was cool. I just be busy working a lot. I did see the private screening for Tyler Perry new movie Mia Cooper with I was gonna say Taraji P Henson with Kelly Rowland and Trevante Rose. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's definitely like a twist at the end that kind of like brought the movie all together. So I appreciated that. Shout out to Tyler Perry, man. And I saw Kelly Rowland twice in 24 hours. God is good.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hmm
That's what's up.
But since you've been out of town thugging with your Browns, you've been out here partying it up with Dirk, Dave East. I'm trying to hear about it.
So I was in New York last week, and shout out to Dawn from RCA Records. She sent me an invite to the Dave East listening party. So I went out there. He just dropped a project called For the Love. I absolutely love this project. I'll get into it a little bit more later on what we listening to, but it was definitely a vibe, 90s theme. So I try to come out with my little 90s theme, little New York fit. And then yesterday I was at the Drake J. Cole Dirt concert. That was fun. First of all, let me just say hats off to Drake because he puts a great show on. Like when I tell you, I've seen everyone there is to see in concert, and he was like one of the last people I haven't seen. So it was worth every
Really?
dollar. Huh?
I said, really?
Yes, it was worth every dollar. Dirk, I got to take a picture with Dirk. He was coming through the crowd real quick. I was like, I'm from Chicago. And he was like, he's just stopped and he's like, all right, he showed me some love and then kept it moving. So shout out to Dirk. And Cole did his
Oh,
thing
that
too.
was sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the video. The
That was
video is
sweet.
funny as hell because you could hear me saying, I'm from
So
Chicago.
you
He
took
just
the
stopped.
screen. So you just took the screenshot from the video.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was
I
a
love
video.
that.
I had to get the video. I like doing videos versus like pictures because the pictures sometimes come out blurry, especially if they're going
Mhm.
like really fast. So I just like to do the video, but the video just looked crazy. So I'm like, my voice is crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna just screenshot the little picture. So
Girl, now we need the video for
the
sure.
video is so funny
We want to hear it. All
because
right,
you can
let's
hear
get
me.
into it. It's been a lot going on this week. Kicking it off, I spent a lot of time on TikTok this week because of this lady that did not know who the F she married. I think her name is
Tessa,
Reza
Risa,
Tessa. I don't think nobody knows how to
Tessa. I
pronounce
think
it.
that's what it is. Risa Tessa.
Reza Reza Tessa. So apparently she was married to this man, and there's a 50-part series. They call it a 50-part playlist on TikTok about how she met the man, how they started dating, how she got pregnant, she had a miscarriage, how they got married, how they got divorced. She found out he was lying about everything. Sis had to go do a background check. It was a lot. It was a lot. Okay, did you see it?
Girl, I'm sorry I didn't get past the first video only because like my ADHD kicked in, okay? You got to get to the point with me. Like it's too much. You explaining too many step-by-step details that I don't care about, okay? You met this man on Bumble. He had a Bumble account, a different dating app. First of all, you met him on a dating app. So let's just start there.
She
Like,
met him on two different dating apps. I think that's weird within itself. If I see you twice on two different dating apps, and we match on each app, nah, bro, something up. You following me or something?
it's just like the dating app thing. Like, I don't know. Would you be on a dating app?
Yes, I would. I feel like I would, but if I was to like move to another state, I would. I wouldn't be on a dating app in Chicago. I don't think I
Mm.
can handle that.
The closest
Not
thing I
me.
got to, huh?
I said not me. It's not for me.
The closest thing I got to a dating app, I will not ever get on a dating app. Let's just start there. But the closest thing I got to a dating app is I went speed dating a few weeks ago. And when I tell you the peculiar man that be the most interesting man that was there was a grown man. He was like 60 years. He had to have been like 50, 60 years old. I low key would have went on a date with him because he held a conversation. He wasn't weird. But look, them dating apps, I'm not doing it.
I don't know. Is it really just what? Okay, I can see where that can start it off because that's what I was too when she first started saying like, yeah, I met him on Facebook dating, and then I met him again on Hinge. I'm like, at this point, I would feel like you following me.
I just
Cause
think it's
why?
weird. I just think it's weird.
That's not faith at all.
You on all these dating apps. Why? And then he had different names though. I think that was the thing that stuck out to her. There were like different names.
He had different names. When you go more into the story, she found out that he had different social security numbers. Like
Ooh.
it was a
So he
lot.
was a
It
scammer.
was a lot. He was literally no, he was literally like a pathological liar. He
How he
wasn't
get
even a
two different
scammer. He never
social
tried to,
security?
huh?
How he get two different social security numbers though?
So I don't know how he got it, but there was one of the parts. I haven't even finished the whole thing. I'm on like part 35, and I've been watching it since like
This some
30.
trapped in the
Like
closet stuff. Like we just
it
waiting for the
definitely is. It reminds me of Trapped in the Closet so much. Um, but like she needed his social, of course, his social security number went on the marriage certificate. But then
Mm,
she needed his social security number again because she was getting like a government job or like a federal job or something where they needed like your spousal information, and he refused to give it to her. So I don't know if he just gave her the wrong one, or if he gave her the wrong one on purpose, or if he literally like got like a what they call like the fake social security numbers that you get from like people that's already deceased or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah, but it never really gave scammer. It just gave like he's literally a liar. Like he just be
that's
lying. He took her to
crazy.
all these. He took us to see all these houses that he said he had 700,000 in cash, and he was gonna pay off the house in cash. Every time it came out to him bringing up the cash, it was like, oh well, the basement isn't finished yet, so I'm not giving them no money yet. Or oh well, I have to go to this offshore account. It's gonna take a couple weeks. Like it was always something. Like he took her to like test drive cars. It was all he was just lying. I don't understand. Me as a woman, I'm real big on intuition. So when it's time to go, it's time to go.
I mean, I think too, not
And
even
that's
like I was gonna say not even with the intuition, but just logic. Like at this point, okay, your intuition kicked in probably, but the red flags are right there. And you just was like, oh hey, I got a man now. She hit her friends with the Eve. I got a new man now.
and that's the about daddy, am I your baby? And
Daddy, am
that's
I
the
your
part that was
baby?
getting me. That's the biggest part that was getting me because I'm like, what made you stay? Like from the beginning to the end, it was just giving like liar, 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 liar. But he was paying the bills. I'll give her that. She did say that
He was paying the bills. Mm. You know what? I'm gonna just say this.
bills.
I'm gonna just say this. Paying the bills ain't for me. That's not gonna work. Like we gotta. if some red flags are showing, we got to do something. Like I got to do something. But see, this is the thing. I'm the queen of investigating. So like I will figure it out. Like I will figure out your whole background. I'm great at investigating a man. Let me not put that out there because,
No, that's me.
nobody know I've
Seriously.
been
Like I will
investigating.
find your grandma. I'm gonna
Exactly.
find your stepkids. I'm gonna find out. I'll break it to your cash app if I have to. Like that's me, unfortunately. But
Okay.
no, that's what she had to do. After a while, she was like, even before she even divorced him, she was like, okay, well, I have to get to the bottom of this. She found out he was lying about the college he went to. She found out he was lying about his occupation. He said he was a VP of a condiment company. The man drove a forklift. Like he said he had a fake executive assistant. It was you have to find time to watch it. Like it's really flabbergasting, but at the same time, a lot of people feel sorry for her. A part of me don't.
I
I
can
don't feel
see how
sorry for her
you
because I
feel
feel
that way.
like yeah, because I feel like if you seeing all this happening and you're not happy, leave. Especially if y'all just got married. Like clearly this not working out. Like if y'all was like 10 years down the line and then he started lying, then you start finding all this out, it's like, okay, maybe we could work through this. But this is still kind of early in y'all marriage. Like I would have love. You
Do
can
you
find
feel
another
like
one just like you found him.
I feel like though a lot of the times when women do stuff like that, it's because of their lack of self esteem. Like they don't. I mean, if you want to, no disrespect to anybody who does dating apps, but I feel like if you're on a dating app, 9 times out of 10, like there's a reason you're on the dating app, and so I feel like she ignored those red flags because maybe she didn't want to let go of the relationship. So absolutely, to your point, it's like I don't feel sorry for you because you knew there's something in you that told you something wasn't right.
Yeah, because even like people now people are like trying to raise money because one thing that he promised her was like this dark blue BMW with cognac seats that he kept saying he was gonna get for her. He was gonna pay cash, and it never happened, right? And this $700,000 house that never happened. So now everybody's like, yeah, let's raise money so she can get her BMW and she can have money for a down payment on her house. That's not gonna make her feel better.
So
That's
I
not
got a
gonna heal
question
her
though.
from whatever she just went through.
I got a question though. How they be putting up all these scenarios on TikTok and social media skits? How we know this is even real? These people donated money. How do they know this is even a real situation? Did she provide any proof that it was real?
This is true. You never know that it's real, but he did respond to her. I haven't gotten to his response yet. This is a lot, y'all. When I tell you, we could check back in next week. Because he's responded. Um, it keeps going. He's responded. One of his stepson from a previous marriage came in to say something because
Oh,
he told the lady Larissa Tessa, he told the lady that his stepdaughter died, and the
what?
stepdaughter never died. Like
Oh,
she's still
baby,
alive.
he's
He
a
told her that she
compulsive
died from COVID,
liar.
and he needed and he needed $2,000 to help pay for the funeral arrangement. She
And
ended
she
up
gave him
finding out
$2,000.
where the ex-wife was. Yes, she ended up finding out where the ex-wife was. Called the ex-wife. They had a whole conversation. She found out that the daughter was still alive.
Yo, low key,
It's a
when
lot. We're
Shady
gonna check back in because now the kids and everybody getting involved. We're gonna check back in next week.
Hold up
But
though.
if you
I'm
get
gonna
some
say
time,
this.
please go catch
I'm
up.
gonna say this before we move on to the next topic. Shorty need to get in tune with one of them novellas, Spanish novellas, and sell her story, okay? Because they will pick it up.
She
That
she
ass.
just did all this on TikTok. I would have wrote a book, okay?
Exactly. Like, girl, you
I would have
missing
wrote a
the
book.
bag.
Hopefully, baby, hopefully she gets some brand deals behind it or something. Cause, whoo, that was a lot. But each video is getting like over 1 million views, so I know she getting some type of money from it.
It's crazy. Well,
That the whole thing. Wow, the son from Legion's first wife ended up speaking out and all. Yeah, but honestly, like I ain't gonna cap. If I could get through my life finessing a man and lying and not getting caught, I probably would too. And a part of me don't blame Legion. They said she made like 80K from the TikTok. She better, shoot. On here
Look,
embarrassing herself, telling her story.
I need to go
Okay?
in my creative
Another
bag and make up
person.
some scenarios so I can get some $80,000 off of TikTok.
I'm finna make up a story. Yeah, Jay Marie, we can make up our own story. Act
Okay.
like we beefing.
Yeah, yeah, let's do
The
that.
untold truth of what's the word.
Ooh, we'll
Make our
fake.
whole little series so we can make a little bag.
I'm gonna send
Okay.
what
Somebody else that's out here embarrassing themselves. Chris Brown gotta chill. You beefing with Ruffles is insane.
hey, he
Like,
the first singer ever. Soldier Boy coming for him. He the first singer ever to beef with a chip brand.
okay. Cause why you into it with Ruffles? Like that was insane to me. So apparently Chris Brown was in talks of being a part of the Celebrity All Star game for NBA All Star Weekend. Something fell through where he wasn't invited anymore, and Chris Brown decided to take to the internet to talk about it because we all know Chris Brown takes to the internet to really only talk about one thing. How certain people have not forgiven him for what he's done. He still get blackballed sometimes, but he's still talented, so you can't deny him, which is kind of like a situation. But yeah, he showed some emails saying how he was invited. Of course, as you can see, they showed the uniform. He actually, yeah, he posted the email so that he could tell us that he had proof and that he wasn't just renting anymore. Ruffles came back probably like 2 days later and said that we have no recollection of, inviting certain celebrities. We're not over that part. That had nothing to do with us. Chris Brown came back and called Cap. He said y'all playing on his name, and he knows exactly what happened. And Ruffles is the reason why he was not invited to participate in the Celebrity All Star game, which I feel like they should have had him because that game was weak. Neither him nor the, and we do know that Chris Brown do know how to hoop. But do you think that we still? I wouldn't say we, but do you think like the industry still have not forgiven Chris Brown?
Oh, absolutely. They are going to hold this thing over this man's head forever. I mean, we have seen it with opportunities like not given to him. You know how many times I see, people say, man, Chris Brown should have performed on this award show. Chris Brown should have had this X award. And it's unfortunate that this has happened, but I want to also remind people that this is not the thing that happened with Rihanna is not the only thing that has happened with him. Carucci, y'all can go back and look at legal documents with Carucci and Carucci explaining what happened with her as well. So it's like, I don't think that this is an isolated incident where we're just holding Rihanna over his head. I feel like it also has to do with his other past obligations. Do I believe people can change?
There was that
Absolutely.
time the time he broke the window, and I believe it was Good Morning America. Remember he got heated because they asked him about Rihanna and he like broke the
Yeah.
window and went crazy in the dressing room. But also I feel like is it on us to be like we're gonna hold you accountable for X amount of years because of what you did? Like is that for us to even judge him on?
No, no, I think that
Especially knowing that Rihanna has forgiven him. Like she's done interviews, she's done sat in documentaries where she spoke on it, where she talked about her healing process and things like that. Like we know like some of the victims have forgiven him in some type of sense. So is that on us to still hold that on him?
no, I don't. I think that if let's take out that aspect of it, like he is an amazing talent. Like nobody can take that from him. So do I believe that people can change? Absolutely. Do I believe that he should be given a chance to maybe prove himself? I mean, he hasn't been in trouble lately. I don't think I've seen him in any trouble lately. He's been tucked off with his kids, making music. So I do believe at some point there should be some type of redemption for him. I don't think that he should carry this his entire career, and it's not up to us at the end of the day, especially if the victims have forgiven him. But when you're looking at it from an aspect of business, I can see why these corporations are a little hesitant to work with him or want their name attached to his brand, only simply because of the things that have happened in the past. So from an aspect of as a fan, I'm not holding that against him. But an aspect of business, that might be a different, depending on the brand, that might be a different, opinion for them. They may not want to go that route.
I feel that, but I also feel, but if that was the case, I feel like Ruffle should have just said, due to certain circumstances, we chose not to, collaborate with Chris Brown on this event instead of just saying, we don't know
We
what
don't know
happened. We
nothing
don't
about
know what's
it.
going on, because I feel like y'all have some,
Yeah,
like, it's Chris Brown. He
absolutely.
one of the biggest superstars in the world. Like, y'all have some type of recollection that they sent him this email. He was invited, and then it was retracted. Like, for the
Absolutely.
public,
Like,
the
just stand
story should
on
have been
business
told if
then
y'all
at
was going
that
to say
point.
anything.
I honestly,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I think
he shouldn't have said nothing. I feel like they should not have said nothing. They should not have addressed it at all.
hmm I think for Chris Brown, the frustration, I see why he is addressing things, because I think his frustration lies in like, damn, like this keeps happening to me. At what point do I get some type of redemption? Like I said, I think people can change, they can mature. And like I said, we haven't seen him in any trouble lately. So it's like, at some point it's like, okay, he's a grown man with kids and makes great music and has consistently put out music, like, and not, small projects. These be like 20 songs on the projects half the time. So I just
Hmm.
feel like, at some point there should be some type of redemption. But business wise, it's like you never know when it comes to businesses and what they want their names attached to. So I don't
And a
know.
part of it, you can always say, I feel like you can always say, oh, it's strictly business, but the person who's making these decisions is definitely coming from a personal place.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. I
it's
mean, we
not like,
see it.
oh, whatever he did has absolutely nothing to do with Ruffles, so we can still include him. No, it turns into, my sister was in a domestic violence situation a couple years ago, or I seen him do something to somebody that was close to me at a party or something like that. And now it's like, okay, you're forever banned. Like, I'm never rocking with you, no matter what position I'm in, no matter how big or how small the event is. Like, you can never be a part of what I got going on.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
people do say it's just business, but I don't think it's just business. It's never
it's
just
never
business.
just business. I mean, you look at, and not to, but look at Fenty. A prime example of that is when they dropped Ari for comments she made about domestic violence. They dropped Drea for conversations she made about domestic violence. So it's like, there's gonna always be a personal matter to the thing. Like, it's not. You're absolutely right. It's not
Yeah,
going.
they dropped Ari too.
Yeah. It's not always going to be, oh, this is just business. It's not. It's not, because society has made it to the point where it's like the opinions of others and how you present yourself is always going to matter. So they're going to look at that as well.
For
How are we
sure.
making other people feel? If we stand beside X person, what does that say? What message are we, giving to the world if we stand with this person? So it's unfortunate, but
Hmm.
I hope Chris Brown is
Yeah,
able
it's
to
very
redeem
unfortunate that
himself
he's
at
still getting
some
this
point.
backlash all these years later. Because
Yeah.
I don't even be thinking about Chris Brown like that. It'd be like, dang, Chris, you still can't catch a break.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, are you saying? Oh, I thought you were saying something. It was like,
Nah.
no, doing that look tick 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 that Usher dance it be doing. Okay, up next, Vince Staples has a new show on Netflix. I watched a couple episodes. Vince Staples has always been funny to me. Like, I like his personality more than I like his raps. He is a good rapper. I don't want y'all thinking that, I said that Vince Staples can't rap, because I don't need the trolling this week, because y'all trolled me a little too hard last week. But yeah, he has a new show on Netflix. I think it's dope. It reminds me of ATL, but just West Coast.
Okay. So kind of like that dry humor.
Yeah, are we gonna play the commercial trailer? Okay, that's not. That's cool. Yeah, it's dry humorish. It follows Vince Staples as Vince Staples. and like he gets into trouble, like things just randomly happening throughout the day. And then also throughout the day, everybody just like Agent Vince Staples, like, hey, Agent Vince Staples, like, you know my cousin, you know this person, you know, yeah. So it's giving like very like up and coming, up and coming rapper that people know, but he's still kind of low key type thing. So you get like surprised when you see him, but um, I like it. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it, but I seen a lot of good reception on it, on so especially on social media. A lot of people were talking about it. I definitely got to check that out because I haven't seen it. I liked ATL, but at some point in time, I just stopped watching it. I don't remember when it was. Like I think after the second season, I stopped watching it. But I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out when I got some time. When I'm home.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. I became a Vince Staples fan when he did that interview with Joe Budden. They
Hmm.
like sat down and was talking about like his career or whatever, and I just thought he was like so like naturally like dry funny. I love dry funny people. Like
Me
you don't even
too.
try
I
to be
do
funny or
too.
be
Like
for
that
real, but everything
sarcasm
that
and
comes out your
stuff.
mouth is just like hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes, I love sarcastic people. I do, and I'm really excited to see the rest of it. I guess I don't know if the whole season is already out. It's 5 episodes out. You can find it on Netflix. Shout to Netflix. Yeah. Up next we got okay, J. Marie. I think you know more about this situation than I do. The mother was arrested for letting her daughter wax clients.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was like okay, so I think her
Yeah,
daughter was
she's
like,
facing child abuse charges.
yes, she was arrested for child abuse and neglect. I think. She let her daughter wax her clients. I think her daughter's like 6 years old. Let her daughter wax her clients in like a 24-hour period. She put it up on social media, pretty much, saying like I'm teaching my kids to like get their own. We passing down D's and LLCs over here. So I guess she was very much proud that she was teaching her daughter a craft. What
How to
I'm
wax
trying to
vaginas.
understand is why she started off with the vagina and not like maybe the eyebrows or maybe even some arm hair. Like, why the vagina?
I would have started off with armpits just because if your daughter mess it up, we could hide it or we could fix it. You know, I would have just started off with the armpits. But even I didn't know she was 5 when I first heard the story because I was like, I'm thinking she like 12, 15. I'm like, hey, does she want to start working early? Like, I'll get a wax. Like, I'll pay for the wax. I'll support the service. But when I found out she was like 6 years old, it's like, bro, put that girl in school. She probably don't know. Do she know how to read? Because she probably don't even know how to read. But she know how to wax vaginas is insane.
I was gonna say, does she even know what a vagina is at that? Like, we're teaching our kids at that age like, what their
Okay.
body parts are, and that's cool. But like, I'm just trying to figure out why not do the like the eyebrows, like you said, the armpits, the arm hair, the legs. You went straight to the
Yes, you
jugular.
could definitely wax arm hair. You could definitely start with waxing arm hair or the armpits for sure. She went straight for the vagina. I'm not mad at it. I get the intention behind it, but she had to know. Like you was gonna put this on social media and somebody was gonna have a problem with it.
I honestly don't think that she thought that it would be like she thought that I don't think she thought she was going to face legal action for this. I think she probably did it for shock value, but at the end of the day it's like see, I'm different. Like my children are very precious to me. Anybody who follows me on social media, I barely post my kids. Like I just feel like why are you using your child as a bait for shock value? Like help me understand that aspect of it as well. Like,
Even right, even if y'all been training and she a pro on the armpits and the leg hair and waxing backs, and the vagina was just gonna be the next step of to what you was training her in. That's fine, but you had to know that there would have been something wrong with you having your child next to another grown woman's vagina.
I
You
mean,
had to know that.
as a mother, I'm sorry. It's no way that I'm having my child wax anybody's unmentionables. Like, let's just start there
And
because
kids are more immune. Kids are not immune to everything that we're immune to. They catch a whole lot more germs than we do. Like, why would you? Oh Lord, that's
it's
why I
just
don't have, that's
like
why I
there's
don't have
so
kids.
many
That's
things,
why I don't
so
have
many
kids.
things that she could have ran into in that moment that is just like, it's borderline like weird to me. I'm not even gonna lie. And yes, like, people were talking about the clients, like the clients should be arrested too. I absolutely think that, the clients are weird for that too. Like, I'm not going into no place letting no 6-year-old rash my coochie. Like, it's not happening. Like, it's not, I don't even like
Not six.
think
If she
about
was no, not six. Six is just extremely too young.
like, come on, man. Like, it's just it's boundaries. And for whatever reason, Shorty ain't have no boundaries when it came to her child. And I think that's the thing that kind of throws me off about the whole situation because, like I said, I have children. So it's like, I don't know. That's weird. It's weird to me.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that don't have boundaries when they come, like that absolutely do not have boundaries when it comes to their children. I would never understand it. Like that's I say it all the time. That's why I don't have kids because I would go crazy.
Okay.
I
Like,
would go
and then,
crazy.
like,
My kid be at daycare. I would go crazy. Like, what is
and
he
then,
doing? What are
and
y'all
then
doing
I'm
with
like
him?
thinking, like, her father, like, was her father okay with you letting her wax other women's vaginas? Like, help me,
That's
like,
another question too.
like, I'm just thinking about it from so many different aspects. Like, I will beat my baby daddy up if he ever, like, come on, like, that's weird. My baby daddy's six
So, do
seven.
you think? Okay,
I still beat him up.
you got a tall baby daddy because you're like 4 feet, four
Yeah,
nine, 4'10". That's crazy.
yeah.
So, do you also feel like her being charged with what was it?
Child
Child neglect
neglect.
or child abuse?
Mhm.
Child neglect, I think.
I think both child
Child
abuse,
neglect. Do you
child
think that's too
neglect.
much? Do you think that's kind of a little? Do you think
Um,
that's a little overboard? Like to actually put her in jail, take her away from her kid.
yeah, I do believe that that's too much. I feel like, she I think it was a mistake. I think it was a dumb mistake. I think she didn't use her brain when she did it. But I also don't think that there was ill intent behind it. I don't think that she was, I've seen in the comments people saying, "Oh, she grooming her daughter." I don't think that that lady was doing that. I think that she was proud. There was a part of her that might have been a little proud that she was teaching her daughter to get her own. And while that's great, the baby is 6 years old. Like, let her play and run around and, like, teach her those things. Yes. But I also feel like, we ain't finna just slap her on the wrist and keep it pushing either. Yeah. Well, she got backlash from social media. I feel like maybe
No, I agree.
the backlash from social media was enough. I think
I
getting
agree.
arrested.
Like I agree with maybe like yeah, maybe like even if she get probation or something, or just gave her a court date, like, hey, you got to report to the judge about this case. Like, yeah, but to take your child away and put her in jail, I think it's a lot. I am big. Like, why are you even trying to teach this girl at 5 years old how to wax vaginas? Is a lot. You could wait until she's 13, 14, when she understands herself, she understands body parts more. But I get it though, because it's I'm not gonna say I get it because I don't get it, but I understand you seeing something in your kid and you want them to be better at it. I get that.
Hmm.
I do
But
get that. It's just like musicians. Like some people, kids be like 6 years old. Like how they say, what was it? Alicia Keys and Switch B Sons was like 4 years old making like raw ass beats. You feel me? Like understanding production and things like that. I get that. You could play into that, keep feeding into that because he's naturally showing you that this is what he want to do. That baby is not naturally showing you that she want to rip hair off of vaginas all day.
I mean, it's the fact that, like, playing an instrument and playing with, well, not playing with a vagina, but
Uh,
waxing a
we finna
vagina.
go to the next subject.
I meant waxing, okay?
Zay
It's not the
you
same
tried.
thing.
It's not. It's not at all. Hopefully that lady gets some help. Hopefully that lady learn her lesson.
Yeah,
Let that baby
absolutely.
be a kid. And when she
That's
come to
first and
you and
foremost.
say,
Like, let that baby be a child. Like, she should be playing
let the
with Barbie
child be a
dolls.
child. Okay, not waxing vaginas. That is insane. We were gonna talk about Monique and her son. Do you want to? I'm kind of
No,
over it. I just feel like
I'm
situations
over
like that.
Monique.
Boy, call your mama. You got your mama
She
number.
always crying, but Monique always crying about something. I'm tired of her. Next.
I just think you and your parent going back because I felt the same way with I did feel for her a little bit, but Russell Wilson and Kamorlee Simmons, they daughter, how she was like exposing her dad
That
on
was
the
a lot
internet. Like
too.
exposing your parents is crazy to me because it's like these are your parents. Y'all could easily pick up the phone and call
Maybe
each
they
other
don't have, but
and make it family drama. Some
I
things are not
think,
supposed to hit the internet.
well, I think in the defense of Russell Simmons' daughter, I think they had already tried to, rectify whatever was going on. And because they felt like he was completely shut off to what they were saying, they felt like that was the only way to get out what they were feeling. As far as Monique's son is concerned, I don't know how old he is. But
Grown enough,
I do feel
grown
like
enough.
there at some point in time, it's like, okay, you gonna blast your mama on social media. That's gonna get you a little bit of a reaction from social media, and then what? Because you got to deal with that relationship behind closed doors. Now it's possibly irreparable.
And I would have understood if they totally didn't have any communication and it was like, okay, she pops up on the internet, she wants to speak on me, let me, respond to it on the internet. I would have understood that, but Monique had plenty of receipts saying that they had been in communication. So that's why I was confused to like, why are we even highlighting this? Why are we even talking about this? Because y'all both have each other numbers. Just call each other. Y'all literally went a week straight responding to each other on different platforms. That's your mama. Call her. I don't know. I would have
Look,
called my
I don't
mama.
know. I would never blast my mama on no social media. That's just me. I think
Yeah, I
that
can't.
regardless, it's
I
a
just
certain
can't. I
type
don't have
of
it in my
love.
heart.
Just a certain type of loyalty you need to have to the person, like people around you that are like, regardless of where your relationship is and if it's messed up or whatever, it's just certain things you just don't put on the internet. And that's how I
Hmm.
feel on that.
Um, no, I feel the same way. We are definitely in agreement because that was a little too much. Even just being a man, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah,
men are
that
just acting
too.
these days.
It's just so many different layers to that, but it's just at the end of the day, it's like, now you also give people the space to disrespect your mother. Like ain't nobody disrespect. Me and my mom could have a disagreement behind closed doors, but I would never give nobody the permission at that point to then disrespect my own mother too. Not happening.
Hmm. Exactly, because now you're really giving the world the option to comment and say how they feel and come at your mama reckless and big you up at the same time or come at you reckless and big up your mama and now you adding all these other eyes and ears and all these other opinions on it and it's judging and clouding how you would naturally react to something. So that's
Not
exact,
only
yeah,
that, but it
especially
just
not with
says,
family young
that
today.
whole aspect of like clout is a drug is so true because we have now children who are dissing their mama on the internet. Like, why are you dissing your mama on the internet for some clout? Like,
Like Boosie kids always dissing him on the internet. They pick and choose which one that's gonna diss him once a month. Boosie kids are always coming for him on the internet. But yeah, man, I do hope they mend whatever is going on. I hope it does. I hope they do come together and they mend it. I know she did say something like "F them kids" when she did her stand up. But like I said last week, stand ups are meant to be funny. It's not meant to like change the retrospect of a situation. So let's just say
I
she
mean,
was
but
just
just
playing
as
around
parents,
and
I done seen
they're
plenty
gonna
of
mend it.
parents say fuck them kids. Like, you love them, but in the moment, just
And he ain't no kid, he a grown man.
okay, he'll be all right. He in his
Okay,
feelings.
I'll say fuck them kids, but I don't got no kids, so I can say it. There's an Airbnb owner that's sued for sending footage of a cheating husband to his wife. So he decided to send the footage because something happened in the Airbnb where the guest had to pay like $950 in damages. Um, and he refused to pay it. So of course, as most Airbnb owners, they have cameras set up on the outside of the Airbnbs. I'm not sure if dude was on vacation, but y'all know usually what goes on vacation stay on vacation. This was not the case. So after leaving a bad review on the Airbnb host's page and not paying the $900, the Airbnb host decided to go find the wife and let the wife know, hey, I have footage of your husband bringing a little mama home, and they did some things in my house on vacation. I do not blame that man. I feel like he getting his lick back. How you feel, J. Marie?
I feel like we are. I'm gonna say this: karma don't care how it comes back and bites you in the ass. So at the end of the day, you was doing
Okay.
something you wasn't supposed to. Now, my other question is, what type of damages did y'all do to that apartment to cause $950? Y'all was having rough sex? Because I want to know, like, what was the, like, what happened in there? Because I'm just saying, like, what could y'all have possibly done to mess up
That's
that
the
apartment?
context that I don't know.
So, look, I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry,
definitely
but
owed $900, and
you
I
can't
know
be you
because you
can't be
can't
out here
rent an
cheating on regulars.
Airbnb without it being paid in full. So it has to be all the damages. Like whatever it was all the damages, and it was $900, and he refused to pay it and left a bad review. I wouldn't have left a review. I would just refuse to pay it and just went ghost.
I'm
I think the
sorry, like
review kind of sent dude off, and he was like, "All right, you want to play? I got you."
you play with fire, you get burned. Like, and it's like these men don't really. I feel like men don't really understand this. Like, you will literally get your karma for messing over a woman. Like, and now you getting your karma back, and now you lost you
Every
nine hundred
time.
and fifty dollars in the hole, and you lost your girl. Stupid.
Okay. That's crazy to me. Like getting caught up on a ring light at somebody else Airbnb is insane. It's definitely insane. What else we have to talk about today? We were was that Floyd Mayweather? That was Floyd
Floyd
Mayweather,
Mayweather,
right?
yes.
That we were
His
talking
little
about right
crazy
before?
self with that.
Yeah, so I love Floyd Mayweather though. I can't count. So he went on an
Girl, you
interview.
toxic
Why is
though.
Floyd Mayweather doing interviews? I don't know. But yeah.
So what he
Floyd
say?
Mayweather went on an interview and he had some things to say regarding Diddy. You know, we blowing when people say, I'm not going to speak on it, but then they start speaking on it. That's exactly what Floyd did. So he's like, oh, yeah, I can't speak on what happened with Diddy, but, if that was my daughter, I would tell her you had some type of responsibility to uphold if you was in that situation, and then proceeded to go on and say whatever happened with Diddy should have stayed with Diddy. Everything don't gotta go on the internet. I think we got the video. Do we? No, maybe we don't have the video. Maybe she just sent the video to us. I still believe in some things don't need to be spoken on, and I don't think Floyd Mayweather is the one to speak on the Diddy situation, let alone to bring your daughter in and say that, hey, I would still hold my daughter accountable, because a lot of the situations, a lot of the stories that I've heard, even when I was watching Angie Martinez and what's the lady name from Joe Budden podcast that used to be in
Melissa
the
Ford.
it
Melissa
starts with an
Ford.
M. Melissa Ford. Yes, and Melissa Ford interview. And some of the stories she was saying, and even like her first encounter of like her feeling like men was kind of like too much on her. It was too many men at one time, like ganging up on her, like fake, like touching her, trying to like looking at her like they want to just like eat her up and things like that. Like that's very uncomfortable for a woman. So regardless of what you felt like the situation was, or regardless of what you felt like your daughter was, I don't think it was for him to say, I would have held her accountable.
I just feel like this idea of holding women accountable in situations when you are not a woman yourself and you don't know how those situations make us feel. How the situation, I've heard of stories where it's like people are like, well, why didn't you run away, or why didn't you do this? And it's like when you're in those situations, 9 times out of 10, you freeze. Like you really don't know what to do in those. You're something in your psyche kicks in, and you're either gonna run or you're gonna freeze. And so it's like you can't really say what a woman should do in those situations because one, we're all different, and two, at the end of the day, it's like we're taking the focus off of the predator instead of what like, and we're putting it on the woman. What the woman should have did in that situation. That's crazy to me. Like, what do we like, especially if you are smaller than this person or you fear this person because you've seen them do things to other people. How are you supposed to move in those situations? I don't know. I just think he's wild for
You
saying
never know how to move. And then yeah, because even afterwards, like, if you're not in it, it's like, you can't really tell. Like, if that didn't happen to your daughter and you didn't see your daughter go through that, and the way she processed it and the way she like took action over it or the way she healed from it, like, you can't speak on it, especially if you know you have not seen it firsthand. Like, I just thought that that was something
that's
for him
like
to
that
kind of keep to
whole
himself.
aspect
We do
of
got the video. Let's play the video real
okay.
quick.
Even like P. Diddy. I'm not going to speak bad about P. Diddy because he's still a black man. I mean, mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake, but things happen in life. And P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. It's not my job or anyone else's job to go on the internet and stump him and kick a man while he's down. Um, my take on it is it's not my business. I don't think it's right at all, and I don't condone it. Even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt. But that's a choice that my daughter made. Yeah. So I don't want to kick nobody while they're down. Even like P did.
um
It's the choice that my daughter made triggered me.
no, the whole thing triggered me for several reasons because you're saying you don't want to kick a man when he's down, but the man, like, okay, you don't want to speak on it. Here's the aspect of it that I have a problem with, though. We talk about this whole, and this has been something that I know from based off of conversations I've had with my friends, based off of conversations that I had within my own community, between black and brown communities. We live by that standard of it's not my business. It's not my even family stuff. Stuff goes on internally within the family. That's not my business. I'm not speaking on that. But here's where that is a problem because within that it does not give the victim a voice. And so a lot of the times those voices are brushed under the rug because it's not my business. And he used that line is so triggering because we have heard it in our families, we have heard it in our communities several times over. It's not my business, and I think that's a terrible thing to say. Like, so you're gonna say that to your daughter when it happens to your daughter? It's not my business. I don't know.
And the whole thing about the choice part, but I agree with you. It's a lot of that's not my business. Why a lot of generational curses never get uncursed, and a lot of issues never get solved between generations, families. But even him saying like, "Oh, she made that choice," like a lot of times it's not true. Like, out
It's
of
not
all
my
of the
choice.
stories that we hear time after time after time after time, a lot of times the choice is no, and that choice is usually taken away, or that choice
Absolutely.
is, maybe if that choice is uncertainty, that choice is always taken away. Like, in some sense, most situations, that choice is always taken away, and that kind of hurt my heart coming from Floyd Mayweather, especially knowing that he has a daughter that got a baby by NBA YoungBoy child. So,
But you see,
but
but we
yeah.
also see he went to bat for, and when NBA YoungBoy was fighting his case, he was helping with that, despite the way he treated his daughter. So
Hmm.
it's not surprising, you know.
Oh Lord, we
It's
just
not
gonna
surprising.
pray. We just gonna pray. We just gonna pray. Hopefully, he was able to look back at that and be like, "Yeah, I
That was
shouldn't
kind
have
of
did that."
dumb to say. Yes, I hope he does.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully he does. But we have a special guest right now. We're gonna bring him up to the stage, Mr. Modello Brown. We need like some theme music. You know how like Price is Right? They used to play the music when after they be like, "Come down, down," then it'd be like that music. We need like some music like that. Modello Brown, how are you? I can't hear you. Are you muted? Or am I the only one that can't hear?
I can't hear him either.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can't hear you. Yeah, we got you. You good?
Yeah, it said something about the producer had me muted, so I don't know if I was able to control that or not.
Oh, we got you now. That's all that matters. How are you? How's your
I'm good.
week?
Pretty good so far. Can't complain too much. How about y'all?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Uh,
Okay, so thank you for coming on live stream with us.
No problem. I appreciate y'all having me for sure.
Okay, so the name really caught me first off. So I really want to know, like, what is hip hop littles? Because I was like, it was the littles. I didn't know we was talking about little people or what. So let us know what's hip hop littles.
I mean, reverentially, we are talking about little people. Hip hop littles basically is it's a family entertainment and media company. So very similar to like the Disney aspect or Pixar, anything of that nature. That was my initial um, thought of producing this company.
What made you want to add the aspect of hip hop into it?
I used to be a hip hop artist myself. Like I've done, a lot of music, and my past time as an underground hip hop artist from Chicago. So I also wanted to keep that aspect of myself as far as like my creative aspect and my artistry. I wanted to create that, and I wanted to combine it with something that'll be more immersive as far as like basically tackling a subject that's being overlooked or not even trying to be foreseen in our community. So I wanted to do something different and kind of bring that to it.
What was that like changing moment? Like, what was the moment where you was like, okay, I don't know if you're still an artist, but you was like, okay, I'm gonna take my artistry and put it into the community and make it something different that we've never seen before.
I mean, pretty much the fact that Chicago's so violent. You know what I mean? So I wanted to bring something that kind of like simmer down the violence and kind of like we have to start from like the rooted situation, which would be our youth. So my music was always about like love, community, real life, situations that we deal with. So I was more of a soulful artist. Um, so I wanted to kind of use that subject to carry on and move it on over.
Um, I read that you have the children's books. Tell us a little bit more about the children's books.
So our books is basically like it's more like to educate, but it's more based off situation. It's like situational, but it's a lot of things that we deal with in our underprivileged communities. But I'm kind of basically reimagining it and kind of putting it into a more childlike perspective, so it won't seem so vague to the audience.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So outside of the books, I know you say you're like a full media production company. So what other aspects do you keep your hand in the community?
Well, music, of course. I also write music and things like that. Still, I'm looking to in the future to collab with a lot of different artists from all over. Also, 3D animation. So I'm basically building like the Walt. I'm like be like the Walt Disney for the underprivileged community for the
Mm.
culture of African Americans and like I said, the underprivileged, regardless of whatever race they are.
Wow, that's
When I
beautiful. And then,
first yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
no, go ahead.
Wait, I
Hello.
can't hear you. What you say? It's me.
I
Somebody
said,
said
go
something.
ahead.
What you say?
I
Oh,
said,
me. Oh, so when I first heard, well, when I first saw about hip hop littles, the first, are we talking over each other?
mm.
This is no, we cool. Okay, I think we cool now. Okay, so I immediately thought of like Gracie's Corner. Did you watch Gracie's Corner?
I don't watch Gracie's Corner me personally. I've always been the type of person to kind of focus in on whatever I have going on, just so I won't like just mistakenly even like inject something from another company into what I got going on, so they won't feel as though like I'm competing with them or I'm copyrighting or
Hmm.
trying to snatch something from them to kind of bring on to what I got going on. So I've heard of Gracie's Corner from a lot of like um, peers and people that I'm close with, but me personally, I haven't sat and watched the competition for the most part.
And then you got the clothing line, which I seen. I gotta order me some for my babies. Talk about the clothing line and how that came about.
The clothing was the first thing that I came up with, but I had no reason for kids to purchase these clothes. So when I first started creating, I was just like, how am I got these clothes, but at the end of the day, it's like I don't have nothing that's going to draw them to want to actually wear it. And me, I'm very like purposeful. So
Mm,
anything I do, I want it to serve a purpose. I want it to be meaningful. So it's very well thought out before I even decide to make it go public.
mm, okay. I love that. I love that. And so the clothing is for kids, but it's also for adults too. Let me know if I read that wrong.
No, no, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So what made you want to incorporate both into for adults and for children?
I mean, we need the parenting for sure. I feel like I mean, truthfully, as parents or anything of that nature, we are not our child's only influence, but we are
Mhm.
the major influence. So if I can get a parent who's mentally already developed and kind of understand, more of what's going on worldly, then if they can support me, I'm sure that they would mind pushing off my brand to their children so that they can support the same sense. Like I want it to be a comforting brand. I don't want it to be something where it's like, oh no, like they only represent this or they only represent that. Like I want them to understand the combination of subjects and the combination of meaning with the company.
Mm, I love that.
So what else do you have planned for 2024?
2024 will be just like focuses on branding and building a community around my brand and basically focusing more in on the exposure. But what I do have coming that I've been working on is the 3D animation. So we will have like a series like on YouTube starting, and then I'm looking to connect with Tyler Perry and do some more work in that area. So we will basically be like I said, the Walt Disney for the culture. I mean, we need a Magic Kingdom in the hood. I don't care what nobody say.
Love that.
I like that Magic Kingdom in the
Yes.
hood. So where can people find you? Let us know, like, where's your brand? Where's your website? Where can we look out for you in the city?
On the website, hiphoplittles.com. Follow us on Instagram at hiphoplittles, Instagram and Facebook as well. Me personally, my personal Instagram is at OK Modello.
All right, then. Thank you for chopping it up with us. But before you go, we always ask each one of our co-hosts, and we're missing the co-host today, so you can chat in on the conversation. We always ask each other like what type of music we've been listening to this week. So who have you had on your playlist?
My playlist. Me, I like a lot of like older artists. I don't really deal with too many new age artists simply because of the message that's like being generated a lot of times. But me, I'm more of a Fabulous fan. Like I listen to more Fabulous.
Ooh,
Okay,
the freestyle. He been going crazy on them freestyles, right?
chill like that.
I
For
love
sure.
me some fabulous.
Yeah, I've been like to Fab since like Superwoman before his name was like he was I think he was Streets before like before he was called Fab and him getting his name from was it Clue? Not was it Clue?
DJ
Yeah,
Clue, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I believe Clue gave him Fab. So that's been my favorite artist since I was a kid. So behind him is Wayne, Hove, Nipsey, and Rick Ross. I listen to artists that I can learn from. I don't really listen to music that's gonna manipulate the mindset. So
Love that, love that.
I work with that. I like your list. I like your list. Jay Marie, who you been listening to?
Well, as I said earlier, I was at Davies listening party this past weekend in New York.
Right.
I got to listen to the album For the Love. It's like a 90s kind of like 2000 vibe. I actually really like the album. He kind of recreated some of the songs from the 90s. I think he did Jay-Z's Girls, Girls, Girls. I can't remember the other ones, but they were really good. Like it was definitely a ladies album. It was one of the things that he kind of spoke about in the when he got up there and spoke about the album. He felt like it was time to do something for the ladies, drop it. It was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day, but it ended up not. But album's fire, so y'all go listen to it. For the Love by Dave East. Shout out to Now PR in New York for the invite. So yeah, that's what I'm listening to. What you listening to, girl?
So y'all know I get distracted by the algorithm. Beyonce got me listening to country music. This girl got this song called Buckle Bunny. Her name like Tanner Adele or something. I found her on TikTok. I love the song. It's so country, but she's so cute. Other than that, Usher Coming Home album has me in the chokehold right now.
I haven't
I
listened
think
to
it's
that
a
yet.
good album. You should. I think it's a real good album. It's one of those like Saturday morning cleanup albums. You gotta wake up
Okay.
early, clean up while the kids watching cartoons. You gonna play that Usher album. Yeah, so I've really been listening to Usher. Me and Beyonce. Beyonce got country music on my timeline. So yeah, R and Bree. I love me some R&B. Okay. For sure, for sure. But we gonna go ahead and close out. Thank you again, Modello,
No problem.
for coming, talking about your brand. Make sure you keep in touch with us. Send us anything we can help to use to keep spreading awareness. You're doing something great for the community that's needed. So we definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all for having me, for sure.
No problem, no problem. J. Marie, girl, are you staying in Chicago? When you moving? Because I'm just waiting for you to be like, hey guys, I moved to
I
New York. I won't be back anymore.
soon, sometime soon.
Soon is crazy. Soon is so crazy. Well, at least I got somebody to visit when I come to New York.
Of course, I'm still be out here kicking it. But I'll be here. I'll be here the next few weeks, few months.
Okay, girl, get you some rest, okay?
I'm tired, girl. I am tired. Okay, I went hard
It's
in the paint
given.
for a whole week. I am tired.
As you should. Girl, that's this lifestyle, okay? It ain't on you, it's in you. For sure. Make sure
Oop. Well, make sure that you log on to What's the Word and submit for What's the Buzz. We are listening to new music every Tuesday. I don't know if we're still doing it. Y'all have a good, blessed week. We'll see y'all next week.